Coming up, a full guide to the 26th annual Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot. Disney presents
Beyond the Kingdoms. Today's episode of Beyond the Kingdoms is proudly sponsored by SmallWorldVacations.com, authorized Disney vacation planners. Their team of knowledgeable agents have been creating the magic for over 20 years. And they can book your next trip to Walt Disney World. Just visit their website to get a free quote. Small World Vacations, where the magic begins. Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's main show of Beyond the Kingdoms. Like always, I'm your host David, and today we're shifting gears into a new season, which hopefully means some warmer weather for those of you who live outside of Florida. Today's episode is a full guide to the 2019 Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. Everything you need to know before attending this beautiful event, and a few tips along the way. So let's not waste any more time and jump right in. Believe it or not, Flower and Garden is actually Epcot's longest running event. The first festival took place back in 1993. Now, 26 years later, it is also the longest festival in the Epcot calendar. This year, the festival begins on March 6th and runs until June 3rd, making the 2019 festival a grand total of 90 days long. That means there's plenty of opportunities to check this event out. Flower and Garden is also arguably the most beautiful event at Epcot. It features over 70,000 festival blooms. There's everything from floating floral displays to gardens around World Showcase reflecting each of the country's natural plant life. And of course, who can forget the beautiful topiaries shaped like classic Disney characters? New for 2019, the Garden Rocks concert series will be expanded to all 7 days of the week to bring a total of 270 concerts to the American Gardens Theater. And finally, who can forget food? This year's Flower and Garden Festival will feature a total of 16 outdoor kitchens serving up delicious seasonal food, 4 of which are new for 2019. Flower and Garden is like most Epcot festivals. There's plenty of food to enjoy, and there's activities for both adults and kids. But the floral displays is certainly the focus of this event. If you have a passion for gardening and flowers, you're going to love this festival. And the main feature that many Disney fans enjoy are the character topiaries. Back when this event first began, character topiaries were dotted around World Showcase. Naturally, you would see characters from stories set in their respective countries. Snow White could be found in Germany, and although Lady and the Tramp is set in America, who can forget the iconic scene at the Italian restaurant called Tony's? Hence why they're placed here in the Italy Pavilion. As the years have gone on, other characters have been added to World Showcase, such as Anna and Elsa to Norway back in 2015. But topiaries have also been blooming in Future World for several years now. I personally love the Figment topiary, located near the Imagination Pavilion this year. 2019's new character topiary will be Bo Peep from the classic Toy Story films, which seems appropriate since Bo is a central character in the upcoming Toy Story 4 film. Bo Peep and her sheep will join Buzz and Woody to make a great Toy Story display in Future World East. Also new this year, we have the return of Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog in the France Pavilion, replacing last year's Lumiere and Cogsworth. These two first appeared at the festival in 2014, but they were not on display last year, and they'll be a fun return to expect for 2019. But the floral displays don't stop at the character topiaries. Epcot is filled with dozens of gardens around the park. from small-scale ones like the Alpine Container Garden in Germany to large-scale ones like the Butterfly House in Future World, which is home to nearly 1,000 native butterflies. The Butterfly House is one of my favorite gardens in the park. This is normally located right behind Club Cool and near the walkway adjacent to the Imagination Pavilion. Inside, you'll get to marvel at dozens of nectar plants and learn about different species of butterflies up close. Other gardens around Epcot are obvious and located right next to some outdoor kitchens, like the Honey Bistro, for example, which is an immersive garden that shows you how the sweet treat is created in beehives before making its way to your kitchen and dishes at your table. While other gardens are subtle and reflect the range of plant life seen in the native countries represented in World Showcase, like the stunning vertical displays at the Tropical Rainforest Garden in Mexico. Either way, there are tons of floral displays to see and enjoy around Epcot. But there are some displays that go beyond gardening and focus on sustainability projects. Returning for 2019 and not seen for a couple of years at Flower and Garden is the Barrel by the Bay. This is both an activity and a display. From March 8th to the 10th, guests can participate in livening up some rain barrels with the use of paint and some fun stencils. If you enjoyed the Expression section Paint by Numbers mural at Festival of the Arts, this will be a fun activity to participate in. The barrels are Coke Florida syrup receptacles, recycled to protect community waterways from stormwater runoff pollution. After March 10th, they will be on display before moving to their new homes in the community. This is going to be located by the Fountain View stage, which is in between Mouse Gear and Club Cool. And over in Future World West, a new penguin sculpture will be built this year in honor of the upcoming Disney nature film, Penguins. The newly minted sculpture will be created from repurposed trash pulled from our oceans, another great environment awareness project on display here at Epcot. If strolling around Epcot taking in the beautiful floral displays is simply not enough for you and you want to take things a step further, there are several additional tours that you can book that are especially good if you have a green thumb and want to get a more detailed perspective up close. For 2019, there are 3 different tours you can take to learn more about some gardening. And you can also participate in a special behind-the-scenes tour that is offered year-round, but it's especially good to experience at this time of year. That is the Behind the Seeds tour, which is a unique walking tour located inside the Land Pavilion. This tour takes you through the greenhouses seen on the Living with the Land boat ride. Not only will you see how scientists are discovering new ways to develop gardening techniques, but you'll also learn how herbs, fruits, and vegetables are grown in the pavilion and make their way to dishes and restaurants around Walt Disney World. This year during the festival, I will be participating in the Behind the Seeds tour, and I'll report back with a full review on the Beyond the Kingdoms website. Now, the tours that are exclusively available during Flower and Garden include the English Tea Garden tour. As the name suggests, this is located in the UK pavilion, and there are 2 different ways you can enjoy this. You can participate in the free version that takes place nearly every day of the festival, and it's sponsored by Twinings Tea. Your guide will take you on an easy 20-minute tour of the garden and explain how herbs are grown to create different teas. This is available Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. This is also available on Saturdays and Sundays at 1, 3:30, and 5. Like I said, this is a free tour, but signing up early is essential because only 20 people are allowed on each tour. You can sign up for this tour on the day you attend only inside the Tea Caddy shop. There is a second way you can enjoy this tour, but it does involve a small fee. But with that, you do get to book it further in advance, and of course, it includes a few more offerings. The Royal Tea Garden tour costs $20 per person, and it includes the free tour I just mentioned. However, it's slightly longer at 45 minutes, and afterwards, you are served tea and scones inside the Tea Caddy shop, all before World Showcase opens to normal day guests at 11 a.m. Now this is available every day of the festival, and to book it, you just have to call 407-WDW Tour. And like the Behind the Scenes tour, I will be participating in this year and sharing my thoughts in my Flower and Garden Festival review video. The final tour option you can partake in during this event is the Gardens of the World Tour. This is a higher-end tour that is good for a dedicated garden lover. This 3-hour tour is led by a horticulturist who will take you through the various pavilions in World Showcase. Again, this is before it opens to regular day guests. They'll talk you through the behind-the-scenes process of creating the beautiful displays, as well as teach some techniques that you can take home with you. The Gardens of the World Tour is offered on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays throughout the entire festival. It starts at 9 a.m. and it runs until 12 noon. Guests must be at least 12 years old to participate, and it's priced at $85 per person. This does not include your entrance ticket to Epcot, but discounts are available for annual pass holders and DVC members. Let's next move to activities and entertainment. Like Festival of the Arts, Flower and Garden is great for all ages. There are plenty activities that the little ones can get involved in, and good entertainment for the adults to enjoy. So let's start by looking at the Garden Rocks concert series. New for 2019, the concert series has expanded to all 7 days of the week throughout the entire festival. Up until now, Garden Rocks has only been available during the weekends throughout the event. This year, there'll be 36 musical acts in total. Some are completely new to Epcot, and others you've probably seen during Food and Wine Festival. Returning acts include Rick Springfield on April 1st and 2nd, and the band Starship from May 16th to the 19th. Each concert will take place 3 times a night at the American Gardens Theater at the back of World Showcase at 5:30 p.m., 6:45, and 8. To get reserved seating to the show, Disney is once again offering the Garden Rocks dining package. But unlike the Broadway concert at Festival of the Arts, this dining package is available at nearly all the table service restaurants within Epcot, with the exception of the park's 2 signature restaurants, Monsieur Paul in France and Le Cellier in Canada. For more details on pricing and how to make reservations, I'll leave a link in the description below. But let's next move on to activities specifically focused with the little ones. One aspect of Flower and Garden that I enjoy is that there are play areas that are designed with really little ones in mind. This event usually includes at least 2 playgrounds, and they allow toddlers to blow off some steam and run around for a little bit. For 2019, both of them will be located in Future World. One will be Bo Peep's Playtime Training Grounds, located near Test Track. This will replace last year's Road to the 500 Play Garden. But don't worry, McQueen's Topiary will still be featured in this area. The second play area will be the Playful Garden. This new play area will be located on the walkway by the Imagination Pavilion, en route to Showcase Plaza and the Canada Pavilion. It will focus on nutrition and wellness and sponsored by Advent Health, who will also sponsor the nearby Flavorful outdoor kitchen. The final activity that kids and some adults with a youthful spirit will enjoy are the event's 2 scavenger hunts. The first one is Spike's Pollination Exploration. This is Flower and Garden's main scavenger hunt and pretty similar to the ones we've seen at other Epcot events. This specific one was introduced last year at Flower and Garden and features a vintage Disney character, Spike, also known as Buzz Buzz to some of you more hardcore Disney fans. Spike is hidden within all the countries inside World Showcase, pollinating the flowers. You can purchase an official scavenger hunt map at the port of entry store for $6.99. And after marking all the locations you find Spike, you can go back to the store and redeem your map for a special prize. Last year's prize was a set of different patches. The second scavenger hunt at Flower and Garden is only available from April 5th to the 21st, just in time for Easter. The Eggstravaganza Hunt is very similar to Spike's scavenger hunt. The only difference is that there are hidden Easter eggs throughout all the countries in World Showcase, featuring Disney characters. This one is also priced at $6.99, and both Scavenger Hunts offer a discount to cast members and annual pass holders. And the prize for last year's egg hunt was a special take-home Disney character egg. And speaking of annual pass holders, Flower and Garden this year will feature 2 free annual pass holder magnets. From the festival start date on March 6th to April 10th, you can pick up a Pluto magnet. And from April 11th to June 3rd, pass holders can pick up this special Daisy magnet. This is the first time that both of these characters have been featured in an annual pass holder magnet. And like always, you can pick this up at either Mouse Gear or the Port of Entry store in Showcase Plaza. Make sure you've got your annual passes ready and an ID. As many of you know, Epcot is all about food, and Flower and Garden is no stranger to decadent culinary dishes. This event, however, puts a focus on fresh ingredients above all else. Many of the dishes served at the various outdoor kitchens include ingredients that can be seen growing in the gardens as you wait in line to order your food. Food and Wine is about range. Festival of the Arts is about presentation. Flower and Garden is about fresh flavors and some that are also a bit more on the healthier side. I'm happy to say that out of the 53 dishes at the outdoor kitchens this year, 11 are vegetarian. That may not sound like a lot, but by comparison, Festival of the Arts this year only featured 5 vegetarian dishes out of the 43 total. So, Flower and Garden food certainly is great for those of you looking to avoid the heavier and heartier dishes, but still crave a unique range of flavors. Another surprise for 2019 is that out of the 16 outdoor kitchens, 4 of them will be new. Let's take a look at some of the menus now. First, we have the Arbor at the Gardener's Terrace. This is going to be located at the Odyssey building. And this booth will feature ciders. So for those of you looking for the cider house booth, that is sadly gone for 2019. But this booth will feature interesting dishes, such as the fried green tomatoes with blue crab fennel salad, and the smoked salmon stack with avocados, tomatoes, sour cream, and some caviar. And for dessert, this booth will serve up a mixed berry buttermilk cake with apple cider sorbet. Next, we have the Flavorful Kitchen presented by Advent Health. This one's going to be located in that walkway by the Imagination Pavilion leading up to Canada. Now, this booth will feature a citrus poached salmon and a twist on a food and wine dessert that I really loved back in 2017. A peanut butter mousse with strawberry jam and boba pearls. That one sounds really good. Over at the Citrus Blossom, those of you who love Dole Whips and citrus swirls in Adventureland are in for a treat. This booth will feature an orange cream slush served in an orange bird zipper. I know that that's going to be very popular. And the Citrus Blossom will also include a lobster tail with grilled lemon, a tuna tataki, and the crispy citrus chicken. Our final new booth for 2019 is Trowel and Trellis, sponsored by Impossible Foods. This is the same company that sponsored Earth Eats at Food and Wine last year, and they had those great sliders that I loved so much. At Flower and Garden, this booth is all about serving classic dishes with a unique twist. First, there's the traditional corn on the cob, served with savory garlic spread as opposed to just simple butter. And for dessert, there's the chocolate pudding terrarium, which includes avocado cream, matcha crumb, pomegranate, and baby herbs. That one sounds really interesting. On top of the 4 new booths, many returning outdoor kitchens have completely new menus for this year's festival. At Jardín de Fiestas in Mexico, we have almost an entirely new menu, including the Tres Leches cake, which is a milk-soaked sponge cake topped with caramel, whipped cream, and almond powder. In China, we have the Lotus House returning, and this year it will feature house-made crab and cheese wontons. Over at Primavera Kitchen in Italy, we have another full menu change. This year, the booth will feature an Italian flatbread with sweet sausage, caramelized onion, and 3 cheeses, as well as a tri-colored cheese tortellini. Over in Japan, we have Hanami, which almost has a completely new menu this year. And one new dish is the chilled soba noodle salad with pan-seared tuna and wasabi dressing. And over at Fleur de Lis in France, an almost completely new menu includes a goat cheese tart topped with caramelized onions. For a full list of all the menus at this year's Flower and Garden Festival, click the link in the description below or head to the official Beyond the Kingdoms website. So there you have it, my friends, my full guide to this year's Flower and Garden Festival. I will admit to you that this isn't my favorite Epcot event, only because I don't have a passion for gardening. But I am looking forward to trying out all of the new menus at the outdoor kitchens. And it's going to be fun to try out some new things like the Royal Tea Garden tour. But the one big question on my mind is what will happen to the Festival Center? We recently found out that the previous Wonders of Life Pavilion will one day be transformed into a new interactive pavilion for the whole family. So the question is, when will construction begin? And how will this affect Flower and Gardens Festival Center and the one at Food and Wine later this year? Don't worry, I will recap all of those details in my Flower and Garden review video. But that will have to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.